Everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with y'all some stock that y'all should be keeping in your watch list for tomorrow. And we're obviously going to do an update on the overall market as of right now. All right. All right, y'all. Now, before we begin, do not forget to demolish the like button on your way in here, and also consider subscribing if you are new to the channel. Right. So let's get started right off the bat. The SPY collapsed. I have been telling y'all since Sunday that I was expecting this thing to roll over, and again, I told y'all like sometimes I'm like 24 hours too early, sometimes 48 hours. It's in between that time, but this one was just right. Um, let's look at this thing. So for those of y'all who may be having some trouble on how some of this thing work, what exactly happened? So I'm gonna break this whole thing down step by step. All right. Now, in the morning today, there was the SPY, and I told y'all I was bearish, and the thing that happens with the SPY is that sometimes it has a tendency to consolidate before massive moves, right? So there's a massive drop, then it consolidates, and another massive drop. I was just waiting for this thing to show some type of weakness, and then 18 minutes after the market opens, the sell-off started to intensify, as you can see right there at the bottom with the volume. And once 40/30 broke down, if you zoom out and you look at the bigger picture, the entire floor right over here, right, which led to 40/40, it broke down. And this is where there is panic. This is where people start selling, and this is where some traders also starts to short. All right, we were short on some stocks. Some of the stocks that we were watching was obviously DE. For those of y'all who watched the previous two videos, right, DE was one of them, and LRCX, and we were short in Tesla. Tesla is the one that we were actually short in. So today was a solid day. The overall market started to collapse, and I don't think that it's quite over yet. If you pay close attention to my last video, I told y'all that I was bearish until we got to the line right over here at 39.42. We're not there yet. All right, we haven't touched the line just yet. And also during downtrends, something that the market tends to do is first there's a drop, then there's a little pop, then another drop, right? It breaks through this level right over here. So tomorrow, like it could be a little higher. We could see the price of the SPY open up at like positive 0.75%, right? Like opening up at 40.15 before doing a tiny green to red move, right? Where it spikes up a little bit, forms a trap at around like 40.26, and then it starts to drop all the way down until like 11, maybe noon, right? Before we see some type of bounce. Will the bounce last, or will it be very, very short term? I think ultimately it's going to break down. It's only a matter of when. I don't think this is the ultimate bottom. So I would say be very, very cautious, right? And some structures aren't done yet. And by done, I mean like they're not done dropping just yet. They still have some more to go. So tomorrow may be an annoying day where like there could be minimal movements. If there's a massive drop really, really fast, that'll be great. But if there isn't, then it could be delayed until like Thursday. All right. So now that's the update on this stock market crash. The stock that y'all should be keeping in your watch list for tomorrow. One of them is CrowdStrike. All right. Now with CrowdStrike, this one is cybersecurity stock. Now it had earnings today, and this is a wonderful thing, right? Like if you see this is called an option killer, meaning that anybody who gambled through earnings, again, like I always say here, holding through earnings is 150% gambling. All right. Like the reaction is very unpredictable. And when this stuff like that, when this happens, everybody lose. Like the calls are going to be down by, I mean, today's Tuesday. So tomorrow, Wednesday, they'll be down at least 60%. At least the calls will be down. And also the puts would be down 60%, maybe even 70%. All right. And the nice thing is that volatility is going to kick in to this stock. I haven't looked at, let's see here. I haven't really looked at their numbers, whether they had an earnings beat or not. All right. But that really, okay, it matters. It matters. It matters. Yes, it does. But we trade the structures here. All right. So the most important thing is to watch what it does intraday. All right. Wait for the structure to appear and it will make the trade much easier. I'm leaning more towards the bearish side because I am bearish on the overall market still until the SPY gets to 39.42. All right. I think it can make it. And also if you look over here, there is that space at 186 that hasn't been filled yet, right? It tried to do so today, it couldn't. That's the only thing that I would be worried about if I was overly bullish. Like if I wanted the stock to go up, the only worry that I would have is this, right? Because it can always go lower. Maybe for like 15 minutes, for a brief moment before it spikes right back up. All right, so that's something that I would be worried of if I was overly bullish. But with the way the overall market is right now, I would say day trading the stock is more favorable than to swing trade. All right, now the other stock that we're going to look at today is obviously the one that paid a lot today. Like I shared this one with y'all yesterday. Congrats to anybody who was able to make some money on Marvel. All right, the stock collapsed marvelously. It was very clean. I told y'all about this, right? I drew this thing about how it could potentially open up higher before collapsing, right? Or it could go for an extra day before collapsing. Today it just decided to collapse, which is great for shorts. Like this is what short sellers want to see. We want the stock to just fall immediately when we want it to fall, and not to pretty much waste our time, right? So where is it going to go next? I think that this is, I'm not touching anything. I'm not going to remove my drawings. I think it can get to $46. Hopefully tomorrow, again, if the SPY does this thing and drops to 39.42, then we could see Marvel continue to fall to 46, maybe even $45 by Thursday. All right. The sooner the better. Like the more violent the fall is, the better the rebound, right? So if the fall is really violent and let's say it just collapse all the way down to $44, consider a dead cat bounce to be coming soon. Like a dead cat bounce all the way back up to $48 at least. All right. But for now, the structure is clean. It's playing out well. It's behaving very well. I like it. Therefore, watch it for a potential for continuation to the downside. All right. Now, let's do another update on the other stock that I've mentioned. This was a little one, and I gave y'all the reasons why I didn't like it so much, right? Um, unless I know for sure exactly how it's going to behave, I'm not touching a stock. I'm not taking a trade, right? So there was two ways for this to go down, like a gap up all the way up to like 1240, right? And then a massive push. But this one is it's dragging its feet. It's not doing what most people would want, especially if you chased it at 1172, right? The people who got in at the close on that day were expecting a massive move. But with the overall market and the way things are, it's not very certain. So I would say give it a couple of days, right? Let it cook over here. between $10 and 11.50. Then eventually it will make up its mind and the volume will pick up even more. Like another $15 million, 15 million shares traded in volume, or I would say 15 million in volume day, right? If you could see another one like that in like a week or two, then we can expect some type of continuation to the upside. But as of right now, I would say be very patient and let it cook. All right, let it cook. Now the last stock, which has earnings tomorrow. Well, we'll just wait until tomorrow to see exactly how it behaves because it has it after hours. All right, so we'll just leave it at that, and that is the end of the video. Again, do not forget to annihilate the like button for the easy algorithm as always. Helps the channel a lot and allows more people to get this knowledge as well. Also, if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, definitely click on subscribe and click on the notification bell along with all notifications. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of our private Discord community where you can get all of this information in real time, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. If you haven't added me on social media yet, you can find me at NGumah at PATTERNOLOGY LAB on Instagram and on Twitter. And lastly, if all of this is brand new to you, if you're interested in getting started in the stock market, left some very basic step-by-step directions in the description of the video below. Step 1 to step 3. It only takes about 15 minutes or less for you to get set up with all the tools you need to start trading immediately. You can also get some free stocks for signing up with Webull using the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is NGumah with PATTERNOLOGY LAB, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in the next video.